Hugh, along with all the Philly stuff, Eagles minicamp, mandatory, starts today. So they have practice today and tomorrow, and I believe on Thursday as well. And all eyes are on if James Bradberry shows up, because he didn't show up to any of this voluntary stuff. But now it's not voluntary. You got to show up. Will Bradberry be here? I thought this was interesting. Christian Parker, his defensive backs coach, yesterday talking about Bradberry, what he's seen this offseason. Here's Bradberry's position coach yesterday. Christian Parker? My bad. Let's hear Christian Parker right now.
Gotten to see James Bradberry this spring, and what do you think he is mentally coming off what everyone has deemed a difficult season?
I've seen him a good amount. And even the a couple of days that he hasn't been here, he's communicated. We've talked on Zoom or on the phone. I think he's very motivated. James is a real professional. He's played in this league long enough that he understands what comes with playing the corner position in the NFL. So he's had a great mentality. He's worked hard. He's learning the defense just like everybody else, and we're looking forward to seeing what he does this year.
Hugh, are you excited for the return of Bradberry today and potentially this season?
I'm not buying that, by the way. The Zoom calls, and I know that technology has allowed itself to allow to be able to talk to guys. Sure. And all this other stuff. Man, listen, I'm just going to tell you how I would approach this, especially being in the position of a Bradberry right now. His future is in limbo. Let's just call it what it is.
Totally.
You got like a room full of 12 young Thundercats that are trying to take my job. And you, for whatever reason, felt like your job was secure, which, to be honest, let's be real, you shouldn't feel that way. Because the way that I look at it is this: if they got 12 guys, say for instance, playing defensive linemen, if they drafted 6 defensive ends, I would feel some kind of way because they're sending a message.
They're coming for your job.
They're coming for my job, Joe. They're trying to take my job, Joe. So with that being said, I'm going to do everything within my power because that's just how I'm wired, to be here to try to soak up as much knowledge as I possibly can. And for him not being here, I think whether it's fair or not, it sends a message. It sends the message that, you're not worried about it, and, you're not as committed to it as you need to be. Because the truth of the matter is this: you got a whole bunch of new coaches that don't know you, and they're working with these young guys, and you're letting those young guys get a leg up on what you potentially need to know.
So
and learn.
Would you cut him if you were the Eagles? Would you move on?
I think that I would let him go. But here's the thing: it's past June 1st, so that's when it gets interesting.
Money now.
You save a little bit of money. If he comes to camp, you bring him in, you see what he can do. Because this is the interesting thing about it, Joe. Because the way that I think about this is you got to be able to see whether or not these guys can play the way that you want them to play. But that's going to be kind of hard to do because you don't practice the same way that we used to practice. So I would say if you're asking me to take a hard line right now, I probably would. I would let the young guys play.
So here's where I'm at on this, and I've changed my mind. When the season ended, my thought was he can't be on the team next year. He's finished, right? He can't run anymore. If you can't run a corner in the NFL, you're cooked. But now that we've crossed this threshold, they've gone through the whole offseason. He's still here. I'm listening to his position coach talk about some positive things about him. I don't see the downside to letting him just play through the summer. I would keep him on the roster because here's my consideration on this. What if they have a rash of injuries at corner, which we hope doesn't happen, but it certainly could? I would just play it out, let him try out for his job basically the entire summer. If he wins a job, if he's better than these rookies, well, then maybe he's bouncing back, or maybe these rookies aren't ready. And if he stinks still, and you watch him in training camp, you watch him in the preseason, you're like, man, he's done. Then just cut him before the season. I don't see the downside to bringing Bradberry back for minicamp and training camp and then making a decision before the season starts. I don't think he's going to be a distraction. I think he's a pro. I don't worry about him.
He's definitely a pro, but
being a distraction.
Here's the thing, Joe. There's a lot that goes into this decision, and one of the things that goes into the decision is this: do you feel say just for example, Quinyon Mitchell, say that you feel that he first round draft pick, he's probably going to start sooner than later.
Sure,
probably week 5 or week 6. Don't I kind of want to get him those reps?
So you mean if Bradberry's here, it's more reps to go around for everybody else?
Yeah. Like if Bradberry's here, you're wasting reps on a guy that you're not factoring into playing. And those reps could go to Quinyon to help him get better and get up to speed with the defense a lot quicker. Let him go through the trial and errors of making those mistakes.
Well, that's fair. I mean, that's certainly a consideration. I just wonder why they didn't cut him already. June 1st is come and gone. Why is he – now, potentially they could try to trade him. I don't know if anyone's giving up anything for James Bradberry. That is a potential thing they could do. I just feel like they've gone this far. They have all this depth now. I don't see the rush to cut him. Do I want him on the team week 1? Probably not. If these young guys could play, Hugh, I'd rather see them, right? Your guy, Ringo, Quinyon. I keep reading Cooper DeJean's already playing in the slot. Maybe they think he could play there day 1. Like, I don't need Bradberry to play.
It's the repetition,
okay.
Joe. You know what's funny? Because had a chance to talk to some of my old teammates, Trot, obviously Ike and Brian and those guys. And it was one aspect about the game that I completely forgot about, and that's the reps. You know, when you talk about, say, you're going through this OTAs. Say if you have 15 reps that you have to distribute between all of these young guys. The starter is going to get the majority of those reps. Say he's going to get 7 to 8.
That even works. That's even in training camp, not just the season.
Yes, that's training camp. Like the starters usually, like if you're going, because you usually go first team against second team. So first team reps, you're probably going to get 7 to 8 reps. So then the second team probably gets 4 to 5,
and then the third team
couple
gets the
teams
rest?
get like couple reps. So that's what you're talking about, because now, especially now with the way that they practice, the way that they do preseason and everything, those reps that you get in practice, those reps that you get when you have these joint practices, those matter way more than the preseason game did. Because I played in an era where, you know, we got our reps in preseason and you got evaluated by the preseason. But nowadays, starters don't really play in the preseason.
Well, they don't.
Those are young guys.
It's almost no one does. All right, 215-592-9494. You can weigh in on the Bradberry thing. Should the Eagles just cut him now? Hugh says yes. I would hold on to him. I understand the point on the reps. That's a fair point. I figure, though, we have him. He's still here. Coach is talking nice about him. I don't I don't see the downside, other than the reps, to let him go through camp. If you have a rash injuries, at least there's a veteran here. Just cut him before the season if he's not one of your 5 or 6 best corners.
Coach is talking like Joe. Don't get it twisted now. Yeah, Coach talking nice about you don't mean it's good. That's normally the kiss of death.
He's still here.
Mwah.
He's still here.
Hey, listen, Kyle. He's a great player. Mwah. Hey, he's doing everything he's supposed to do.
Yeah, somebody trade for him.
The kiss of death.
If they're waiting for that.
Did you watch the film last year?
I sure did.
Oh, my gosh.
Why is he still here then?
Oh, my gosh. Because he made him out a ton of money. June 1st saved a little bit of cash.
Hugh, it's June 4th.
Man, we got 12 DBs.
It's
time. It's like, I'm pretty sure.
That dog don't hunt anymore, the June 1st thing. It's June 4th.
I'm pretty sure they're trying to find somebody to trade for him. I would think that. I cannot, dog, and I've been on this bandwagon since the end of last season. Man, ain't no way that both of them corners starting this year. I just don't see it.
I tend to agree with you, and I
don't see it.
I agree with you, but he's still here.